Stay tuned for the Joan Quinn Profiles. Joan served the state of California as a member on the Arts Council and on the Film Commission. She was formerly on the Architectural Commission and fulfilled 2 terms on the Fine Arts Commission for the city of Beverly Hills. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview magazine, Condé Nast Publications, and the Hearst Corporation, Joan covered the world of fashion, the mysteries of food, the excitement of theater, and the international art scene. She continues to find people who are on the cutting edge of their professions. Here's Joan Agajanian Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. We're taping here at the Hollywood Museum in the historic Max Factor building, and we have guests, costume designer Mikael Sharafyan and actor John Cox. Award-winning costume designer Mikael Sharafyan was born and raised in Yerevan, Armenia. Mikael's family came to the United States in 2009, and he attended Glendale High and earned a diploma from Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. He interned with Ali Rahimi and at the Center Theater Group, and he worked at Sylvia's Costumes and designed for feature films. So, did your family come from an artistic background? Do you come from an artistic background?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. Thank you, because that's so true. Because my parents are artists, and my mom is a pianist accompanist of ballet.
Oh, she was? She
and
played
she still
the piano?
is, yeah. She still works at the Santa Monica College and also West Side Ballet. And, and back in Armenia, she worked at the Opera and Ballet Theater for 30 years, also working with Aram Khachaturian and many...
But as a pianist?
As a pianist, yes. And also with Gergiev and a lot of famous Vasilyev, the ballet dancer.
She worked with Gergiev?
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah.
That's so impressive, because and also working in Armenia and being that caliber of a pianist.
Well, she was the head pianist accompanist of ballet at the Opera and Ballet Theater of Armenia.
And I know the West Side, and I think it's so hard for somebody to sit there and play and really coordinate with the teacher and all that.
That's right.
Oh, so
and
that's
my
great.
father is a well-known Armenian actor and merited artist of Armenia, Joan Sharafyan, and is a stage and movie actor, and he appeared on many movies and television and stage productions. He played Shakespearean roles and
in
comedies
Armenia?
in Armenia, also here.
And did he, when he came, did he get a job right away acting?
Not right away, but we. Because once in a while, all the Armenian production, like the stage productions, they visit from Armenia, and then they also ask him to appear as the lead, and he appeared in about 17 plays in 15 years.
Here?
In Los Angeles.
Is that right?
That's correct. And then also appeared on movies too, and his movie will be releasing on October 2nd at the Pacific Movie Theaters.
What kind of movie?
It's called Aram Aram.
Oh, is he in Aram Aram?
Yeah, he's the lead actor.
Oh, really? Oh, that's fabulous. Yeah, I hear great things about that. Who's the director?
The director is an American director.
Right.
His name is Christian Chambers.
Right, yeah.
Chambers, and he really fell in love with Armenians, and he traveled to Armenia, and so that's really...
So here you are, a costume designer. How did that happen?
So that's actually always been my passion, costume design, because since I was in Armenia, I always been fascinated by those productions that I used to go and see since I was 3 years old at the Opera and Ballet Theaters.
And because your mom probably took you, right, as a child, you were always there backstage.
That's right, and I used to go to the rehearsals, and I used to see those beautiful costumes up close, and every time at the end of the production, I would ask my mom to take me backstage to see those costumes. And I used to sketch those costumes, what I remember, and then my interpretations of those costumes. I was 4 or 5 years old, and then I gave to the lead dancers, and it was so interesting that some of them kept those sketches until today.
That's so sweet. That's really great. But the other thing, I know we had a fantastic costume designer who was a big award winner, Irene Sharaf.
Irene Sharaf, that's
She
my
related?
great aunt. My great aunt.
And she was related on your father's side?
side. She just shortened her last name from Sharafyan to Sharaf, and
Irene Sharaf.
Irene
I always
Sharaf.
said Sharaf
Yeah.
because I always thought she was
Sharaf.
Sharaf.
Sharaf, or it's both ways, just like my last name, it's pronounced as in Sharafian or Sharafyan.
Sharafyan.
Yeah.
From Armenian Sharafyan. But she lived here a long time, didn't she?
She was born, actually, she was born in the United States. And so our family split during the Armenian genocide, and even the first one in the late 19th century.
In the early 1900s. That's when my grandfather came too.
And that's when her family came, and then we just split.
And she was born here.
She was born in Boston.
And my father was born here. Yeah, right.
And so and it's always been in my genes, I think, the costumes, and when we moved to the United States and I went to high school, and I said, okay, I told my parents, I really want to become a costume designer.
You started getting all these awards out of high school. Were you painting? Were they painting awards, drawing awards?
Painting awards. I started as a painter and sculptor, and for me, being a painter in the United States, you either have to die or you have to cut your ear to be famous.
To be famous, yeah. Or you have to wait, right, a long time.
And I don't have the time and the patience, and the closest profession, again, is costume design. Because what I do, I don't design clothes, I design characters.
Oh, right. So exactly. So you don't have to have every season, you don't have to have a new thing. You just tell the story for whatever you're designing for, the movie or the stage.
That's exactly right. I don't care what all the women in the world are going to wear.
Right.
I care what my actress is going to wear.
Exactly. I see. That's a whole different thing.
Absolutely.
It's a different kind of creativity.
Oh yes, and it's a very collaborative creativity because
collaborative.
Yeah. Because it's the director's vision first and then foremost, and then they hired the costume designer to bring this more ideas, maybe some creative ideas to the table, and then because when I get a job, I have no clue what I'm going to do. There's a blank sheet of paper in front of me.
But how do they know what you can do for them?
I think it's the passion that I have, and then they can tell that it's just. Because it's just really, I'm very passionate, and when I meet the director, I don't go there with unprepared. Obviously,
right,
I have my portfolio, I have my samples of my work, and I just.
Do they interview you? Do they interview lots of costume designers?
Absolutely.
Oh, they do. I see.
And then they send me the script in advance, so I need to understand the story, what this whole story is about, and. Because otherwise there's no point of me doing anything because I don't know what the characters are.
Exactly.
And then I go prepared and then I show them examples of my work, and the collaborative process starts back and forth.
So you were painting at Glendale High School, and then how did you choose FIDM? Was there a program there that you wanted to be a part of?
Yes, the advanced study program. It's the theater costume program, and it's interesting when. I was still at Glendale High School, and what happened is a representative came from FIDM, and they told us about that there's a program for costumes at FIDM, and right away I said, this is the right profession to have. And,
so you were lucky.
I was really lucky.
It was lucky because they came to your school.
But my parents were against it.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, of course.
What did they want you to be?
It's not a manly job. It's not,
Is acting a manly job?
Acting.
Was playing the piano a manly
I always
job?
remind my dad about that too, because his father was against him.
Oh, did he? Do you remind him of that?
He wanted him to become an engineer.
Oh, right.
And it's like an Armenian thing.
And would you be an engineer?
No, never.
The furthest from you, right?
Oh my God! I have no. I'm still not really good with numbers and calculations, and that's a big.
But one of the things you said you learned a lot at FIDM, how to choose fabrics and dye things.
Choosing fabrics, I really learned probably at Ali Rahimi's.
Because you interned at Ali Rahimi
I
too.
did. And while I was still at FIDM, That's the big. And
Was that part of their program?
It was not. That's a really beautiful story. What happened? I was taking the history of costume class, and I was very passionate. I was always sitting in the first row, and that's basically that's my motto. I always sit in the first row, no matter what.
I like to see what's going on.
If I went to this event, I need to sit in the first row.
Right.
And my professor Lori Blackman, she noticed that, and she said, Mikael, you want to stop for a moment? I want to give you an advice. I know my friend is Ali Rahimi, and I would like you to go and maybe intern
nice.
for him. And she arranged the whole meeting, and I went.
And then, so you learned about fabrics because he uses absolutely beautiful, stunning fabrics
Most
from all over
definitely.
the world, right?
Very expensive.
And very expensive.
Very expensive.
And you worked at Sylvia's costume.
I have.
So Sylvia's costume is who?
Sylvia Chakmakjian.
I know Sylvia.
And she is located in Hollywood again.
Yeah,
And,
she has a big factory.
She has, and our meeting was really amazing too. She actually came to my house.
Did she?
Really,
'Cause she used to work for Bob Mackie. She used to do Bob Mackie's things when I.
That's right. And she's just a wonderful person, and she's my mentor. And
that's so great.
And I stayed with her for 10 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
because she makes costumes for like the cruise ships and
That's correct.
Broadway and all theater things. So did you work on all those things?
Oh yeah, I have. I cut many costumes for the productions, and one of my first costume that I cut was for movie Enchanted, designed by Mona May. And
I know Mona May too. She's great. She taught at FITM too, didn't she?
That's right. And I cut 15 of them.
Wow.
I cut 15 of those costumes. It was a great experience for me. And
so you really have been with the tops.
Oh yes.
Really with the top.
I met the legends.
Really?
Ray Agayan, Colleen Atwood, Pete Menefee, you name Bob Mackie. I mean, I met them all, and I was really lucky to be on the same workroom with them.
And their influences. Tell us about the piece you brought today.
Oh, this particular piece is a very special piece for me. It's it's my very first big project that I designed in 2008. Was for the production Can for FITM. It was my debut.
Oh, really?
Debut show.
Oh.
And that show really changed my life, the direction that I was going to. And
you've used beads, feathers, rhinestones.
Swarovski crystals and beads, fringes and feathers.
So, but you designed this.
I designed it. I built it myself.
Yeah, and you built it from the. I see.
Mm-hmm.
So. And what other films have you worked on?
I also worked on feature films like the Absolute Killers with Ed Asner.
Oh yeah. Is it easier to dress a man than a woman?
No.
No.
It's actually more complicated because they're fussier than women are.
They are?
Strangely enough, yes. Because women, they know what they want, and men, since they only wear mostly t-shirt, jeans, and all of a sudden I'm bringing high-waisted pants or something in that world.
I don't want to wear a high-waisted pants.
They freak out, and I have to, you have to be a psychiatrist and just really go over the look and kind of convince them that this is the right way of doing it.
This is the way we want you to look because you're the character, right?
That's correct, because they forget that they're playing the character, not themselves. Yeah. So it's very tricky.
And you did another one. What was it about Armenia? What film was that?
Oh, Lost and Found in Armenia.
I know, that was
Jamie
the funniest.
Kennedy.
That was so funny. That
really?
film. Yeah, so you did her.
All the costumes.
You did all the costumes.
Because when I pick the project, I have to design everything.
Was it in Armenia? Was it
both in Armenia?
Did you go back and forth?
Yes, that's
so the costume designer doesn't just do the costumes and leave. You have to go
be on set, establish the looks and before the camera, and that's what I specialize in as well. So I need to make sure that what we have in front of the camera is the right look.
Oh, so you have to stay there and watch that all. So you go through the whole film. You stay on the job from beginning to end. When you went back to Armenia, how long had it been since you went?
Since 2000, from like 5 years.
It was 5 years?
5 years, and it was a really fun and great experience going back now as a professional.
I was going to say, did your friends go, oh, here he is, he's really made it?
And then it was a Hollywood production, and was really another mentor is Valerie McCaffrey, and she was the producer, and and that's
casting director
I was
too,
also
right?
a casting director. She started as a casting director.
Oh, Valerie's great. Oh, and it was great having you today too.
Thank you, John. It was what an honor to be here.
I'm so glad you were here. And don't go away. We'll be right back with actor John Cox. Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome back to the Joan Quinn Profiles. We're taping here at the Hollywood Museum, and my guest is writer, performer John Cox, who was born and raised in Michigan. Graduated from high school in Seal Beach, California, and joined the Army. Now I know why the water and Seal Beach, and now it's all coming back to me.
Right.
So we'll talk about that. He qualified as an Army Airborne Ranger. He worked as a commercial fisherman in Alaska, and after 3 years returned to Los Angeles to study acting with Larry Moss, and he also graduated from the South Coast Repertory Group, and it was intensive acting, right? An
Yeah.
emphasis on that. So he's written and performed in this new play called The Money Fish at the Hudson Theater. So start with high school. What called you to the Army right from high school?
I can say that out of high school was poverty. I had no money. I was poor. And
In Seal Beach? Not in Torrance?
I actually went to South High School in Torrance. I'm sorry.
Oh, you did go to...
Now I
okay.
live in Seal Beach.
Okay.
Sorry to confuse you on that.
That's okay. Torrance, you could be poor in Torrance, I guess.
Yeah, you know, I actually lived in Carson and then had to drive
You could even be poor in Carson, right? It's all that area.
Yeah, right. Same thing. And that's how it all got started. I mean, I was over there in high school, and, you know, I really had no options. And so I found myself looking for adventure, and I knew I needed discipline, so why not go be an airborne ranger?
So then do you go right away to be a airborne ranger? What is that?
Well, you go through a year of training.
Of what? What do you train for? What does airborne ranger mean?
Airborne ranger jumps out of planes. They're the first ones into combat, and they're known as special forces.
I thought they were jumping into water. No, they don't do that? You didn't do that?
I didn't jump into the ocean, no.
Oh. So you trained to do that?
Yes, I trained.
And how much did you do that?
I went through training, and it was unfortunate because as soon as I got to my unit, I injured my foot on a jump.
Really?
And I ended up getting a medical discharge right away.
Wow.
So it was a big letdown because I had close friends that I made through training.
And you were like really intensely training that.
Yeah,
like that.
it was, yeah, exactly. And at one point I thought I would make this a career because I enjoyed it so much, but then I was just injured.
Well, then how did commercial fishing come into it?
Well, I got out of this military, and I was still broke and more than ever.
So poor, and where were you this time?
Seattle.
Oh, poor in Seattle.
Poor in Seattle, that's where I was. So
is that where you were training, in Seattle?
That's where I was actually stationed with my unit.
Oh, wow.
And the fishing companies, I found out,
Oh,
happened
yeah.
to be, right there.
Okay, I can see that now.
Yeah,
There's
right.
a line, okay.
And so that's what I did. I went down the list, applying, interviewing, and then next thing you know, it was just like that.
And what do you do as a commercial fisherman?
Well, you know, you start off as a new guy, and you're doing greenhorn jobs. I mean, it's really low-grade stuff.
You mean leaving Seattle, you go out for the day and come back, or do you stay out, or what do you do?
No, I was out on the Bering Sea, like working greenhorn for like months at a time.
Is that up to Alaska?
You fly to Anchorage, and then you fly from Anchorage to Dutch Harbor, which is in the Illusion chain.
Oh.
And then you take this boat off into
And
the
then
Bering.
you're out. You're gone.
You're out and gone.
Poor in the Illusion. Oh my gosh, I think that's right, huh?
Yeah, poor.
Wow.
But then if you stay
So
out
you're
there,
a greenhorn.
You're a greenhorn.
For how long?
There's people that, you know, go home as greenhorns. Most people don't stay.
I was going to say, it must be difficult. You're out, you're so far away. What do you do?
Well, you know, you start off doing jobs like cleaning and sorting stuff.
In the boat, you mean?
Yeah, in the boat.
Or the boat, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
In
the
the
vessel.
factory. In the vessel,
In the vessel.
In the hood. No, in the
Poor in the vessel. We've got it, John. We've got it.
Right, you do.
Oh, so you do those kind of works. You don't get to like pull a fish up?
You're not on deck. No.
You're not on deck?
No, you're not on deck. It's definitely something to where it's pay
So
your
then when do
dues.
you get on deck?
Well, it really
Or did you ever get on
I
deck?
did get on deck, and I worked my way up actually to become deck boss, and then worked my
Oh.
way into the wheelhouse.
And then you got tired of it?
What happened was that I became really greedy, and I became very cold-hearted, ruthless for making money. And in the end, I had a friend that I lost out there, and
Really?
yeah.
Off the boat?
Yeah.
Would they fall over the boat? They fall over? What happens?
Yeah. The people, they die out there for sure, and
Really?
you get washed off, and
Wow.
it's very dangerous work. And
So who actually catches the fish?
well, the boat will, the deck boss will be in charge of.
You were?
Well, eventually when I risen to deck boss, but that person's in charge of making sure that the business and the operation of making money keeps moving quick.
And what is that? Just bringing fish on deck?
Bringing it on deck, you dump it into this hold, and when it's in the hold, people start working below and sorting it and putting it in
So,
freezer.
how do they catch them?
They
In nets?
In a net. They got a
Oh,
net.
they do? Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
was wondering. You're not out there with a fishing pole.
No way. There's no money in that. No.
Oh, so that's why this is the money fish.
Yeah, that was.
That's the name of your
Yeah,
your
that's
play.
why it's the money fish.
Okay, so you came back. You got tired of it. I see why you got tired of it.
Yeah.
Because you were like with nobody out there, right?
Right,
How
right.
many people were you?
Well, there was approximately 16 people on the boat.
That's it?
Yeah.
For all that time, you were like the same 16 people?
Well, usually it's like 4 bosses that run the whole vessel, and then you have new guys. And
Oh, they come in because the other guys can't
yeah,
stand it, right?
Yeah, they're gone. They're
And how
in.
do they come?
They come from all over the world. It's fascinating.
Do they fly them in? Do they boat them in?
They fly them in, and then they start working on the boat, and then they sign a 3-month contract.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, so.
And then you got tired of it, obviously.
Yeah, well, I wanted a change of life because I felt like I almost fell off the boom one time.
Oh, that's what you said. You
And
lost it. Oh.
yeah, and I was dangling, and I thought, I don't want to die like this. I want to live. So
I want to write and I want to act. How did that go?
That's so funny.
Were you writing? Were you keeping a journal when you were in the Bering Sea?
I had these characters down pat. you know.
Really?
Yeah, the captain, a very salty dog, chain smoked and stuff, and there would be a lot of cussing in a matter of one sentence,
So is that what you put in your play?
Absolutely, yeah.
So how did you develop that? And
It's
had you written a play before?
No, I hadn't written.
Is this your first one?
This is the first one I wrote, and I'm producing it and everything, and
acting in it?
and starring
Right.
it. I'm the
Who's
only
directing it?
Mikael Sharafyan.
Oh, Michael Arabian.
Yeah.
Oh, our favorite director. We love him.
Oh yeah, great.
Oh, he's
doing-
directing. He's really good on one-person plays.
Right.
He's really great.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, say hello to him for
I
me.
will.
And now tell me, did he help develop it?
Well, we worked with each other at this process of making sure things were strategizing right, and it was been just a constant growth of changing and evolving to get to this point. But
And
yeah.
how long has it been?
Well, it's been a 5-year process.
Wow.
And
Poor acting. Poor in the acting field.
Poor in the acting
But
field.
you've been a longshoreman, I guess, along the way, right?
I am a longshoreman.
Oh, you are.
I am a longshoreman today. Yeah.
Today, what do you do?
I drive the cranes, and I also, I do other jobs, but mostly drive cranes.
In Long Beach?
In
San Pedro?
and Long Beach, both. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you're still really in the field getting information for the next play.
Yeah, that's a reality show there for
Is
sure.
it? Is
Oh,
it?
it could be. Yeah.
So do you play a lot of different characters in Moneyfish?
I do. I play 16.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, so tell me what the captain's like.
Very salty.
How does he sound?
Raspy. I can't even talk like him because I'd have to start cussing. But he definitely is foul in a way. He'd be like, "All right, you over there, and go get on that deck, and I don't care what happens, but you better work until you're tired. I don't care. You're not stopping."
And then that's why they leave.
And
Because I can't take that day after day after day.
After
What
day.
other characters?
Well, I ended up meeting my wife out there. And,
Where?
out in the Barents Sea. She was on the boat as a marine biologist.
Wow,
And,
really?
Yeah, it was really cool because she came on as this really, really intelligent and soft soul.
Where
And
did she live?
she grew up in Texas and went to college in Kansas, and
Oh, from like corn country and
Yeah,
dry
yeah.
land, and she's up in the sea?
yeah, and she had a different job than us, where she was employed by the government to take scientific data of the fish.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so she would ask me, I was the deck boss at the time, and she would ask me about the net or what we're doing, and she had the power to shut down, like.
And you play her too?
Yes.
How do you play her?
Well, there's
Do
one.
you change your costume?
No, I do very limited changing to keep focus on characters and stuff. But she's a very soft-spoken, sweet person, and I would play her like, John, if you want to do something that makes you happy in life, then you're going to have to get off this boat.
Oh, she did. Oh, she was right, huh?
Yeah, she actually was very right, and to the day she still is.
And is there music involved?
Yes.
And what kind of music did you
Well, there's very
decide
little
on?
music.
Very little?
It's very, just like a clip of it.
A lot of lighting? Or not?
Tremendous amount of lighting.
Oh, a lot of lighting.
Yeah,
cues.
lighting, sound, it's big, and the scenic design is John.
Oh, what about the sound? Do you have sound from the ocean?
Yeah, yes, it is from the ocean. It's going to be, even the scenic design is going to be like a boat, and there's going to be water even.
Are you using, is it projecting on the back? Or?
No projection.
Oh, you're building a script.
It's a set.
A set.
It's the actual set is being built like the
Oh,
boat.
Fantastic.
And there'll be water when I'm on deck. It's crazy.
So how do you take off from being a longshoreman?
How do I take off from being a longshoreman?
Yeah, to play at the Hudson.
Oh, I can, you can work when you want at a certain point when you can work when you want at that job. That's the beauty of being a longshoreman. So it's provided me this freedom to do this.
And where do you think this will take you? Where do you think this play will take you?
It came to a certain point, Joan, and that's a good question. I can tell you that I put everything I had into this.
Well, 5 years, that's a
5
long
years,
time.
I've sacrificed a lot. It's a true story, and these characters are true. And of all things, I just want to entertain. I just want to make sure people are entertained.
So will you take it to New York? Will you take it to a larger theater? What happens?
It's well received. I would like to take it to New York, take it around the world.
And would it always have to be you? Could you have those characters come to life with different people in the cast?
I think so. I really do.
Like, can your wife play herself? No.
No, she doesn't
But I
want
mean, you'd
to.
have an actress and different people.
I could see that. I haven't thought of it yet, but yeah, I could see that happening. But it'd be
Well,
interesting.
it's pretty interesting, Money Fish. Not poor anymore. Not poor. Not poor at the Hudson, right?
Not poor at. Whoa, God, this is costing a lot of money, so I am poor at the Hudson.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye, John.
Thanks, Joan.
Don't get up yet.
Oh.
Keep writing to JAQUINN1, and we'll see you next time.
Oh.